Ayomi Joy Amode with a question. I applied for a green card since 2018 after my asylum was granted in 2017, but I have not gotten it. What should I do? Well, if you applied for your adjustment of status in 2018, 1 year after, you should have gotten it already. So if you haven't received it yet, you're going now on at least 1.5 years, maybe even 2 years into a pending adjustment of status. Now's the time to call me, get on my list, and let's figure out if there's a problem with your asylum case, or if there is no problem with your asylum case, then we got to figure out what are we going to do because the government is violating your rights. Are we going to threaten them with a mandamus, or what is to do? So the first step is let's make sure everything's good on your case. And then the next thing is if everything's good on your case, then your rights are being violated. And then what do we do about it? 1-800-529-5465. Now, Alex Crosswaite, he was, I think, our reporter in Panama who said 3,000 infections in Panama. He says he was deported 18 years ago. He lived in America since 78. All my brothers and sisters and parents and the whole family citizens, can I come back to America? I'm in Panama. I also volunteered to get deported. I was tired of being in jail. I don't know why you were in jail. It depends what you were in jail for. It depends what your underlying crimes were for. And it depends on who you have in your family to sponsor you to come back. All of those are, can you come back? All of those answers are maybe. I don't have the answer. You would definitely need to have a consultation. If you receive food stamps, will that affect your citizenship? No, it does not. Let's see. Hernandez Sammy. Good evening, Brad. My wife is owing another leasing office, and our current leasing office has refused to add her name on my lease. Can we submit my adjustment application without the lease, or what other options do we have? You don't even need to submit your lease. Whether your name is on a lease or not is not indicative of whether you live there. There's plenty of ways to prove you live there at the time of the interview. File your adjustment or call me and let me tell you what to do. Okay, but you don't need to put your you don't need to do your lease. You don't need to have a lease to file. What you need to do is prove you live together. And Dev Kasoon. When does Trump travel ban on immigrants' visa will be uplifted? And Dev, excuse me 1 second. I left my magic 8-ball. Let me get it. I have to ask the magic 8-ball that question. And magic 8-ball and Dev Kasoon. He watches our show a lot. He wants to know when Trump is going to lift the ban on travel. We don't know what's going to happen with coronavirus tomorrow. We don't know what goes on in this man's head on any particular day. But I, Brad Bernstein, should know the exact time when Donald Trump will allow us to travel again. Magic 8-ball, when will this happen? It says... I'm going to tell you something. The magic 8-ball doesn't even know the answer. It is giving me a blank screen somewhere between 3 different cubes. The magic 8-ball would not even give me an answer to that. That's how far we have no idea when that's going to happen. Desiree Fieron, the immigration requests some more information from my mother in regard to our filing, and she sent them a question: is how long before we hear back from immigration to resume the process, and how long more would we have to wait? It's been about 8 years. And I also want to know, oh my God, there's a lot of questions. And I also want to know if the president's going to stop the process of all the old filings or new filings or just all the process. Desiree, I don't have the slightest idea when you're going to hear back from immigration. Your mom filed for you. It's been 8 years. So presumably, I assume this is the I-130. You should be getting it approved. Trump can only postpone immigration. He can never stop it. The only way you can stop immigration is with a law change. So he can postpone it, maybe for health-related reasons for a short period of time, but over the long time on our earth, he cannot change immigration laws. You will get here at some point Hopefully your mom did it right. Kamoya Cooper. Can I go ahead and file for my kids outside the States with this pandemic going on? And can my husband file for food stamps, even though we're going to file for my daughter? You can file for your daughter. Your husband should not be filing for food stamps, because if he files for food stamps, what you're saying to the government is you can't feed yourself. And they're going to say, well, then how are you going to be able to feed your daughter? So the answer to the first one is yes. The answer to your second question is no. Bibek Gupta, my uncle. I waited till the end of the year 2019 and became a sponsor and submitted the docs, but the embassy put it in administrative processing. The country is under lockdown and the embassy is closed. There is nothing we can do until such time as the embassy is open. So once the embassy is open, we have to see how the embassies are going to handle all of these things. Rog J. Roberts, the hat is fixed. Everything is predetermined. No, Rog J., the hat is not fixed. He's talking about Mr. Negative. He's talking about the free consultations. I have no idea who I'm going to pull out of my hat. Crown Johnny. I received the stimulus check, but I'm not a citizen. I hope that won't affect my citizenship process. No, it should not. Talia Reed. I am 20-year-old U.S. citizen. I will be 21 in December. My mom is in the U.S. on a visitor's visa for 3 months. Now, will it be a problem if she stays here and I file the paperwork for her in December? No, you will be able to adjust your status. Danny Shah. Hi, Uncle Brad. I'm glad to see you're doing good. Question, I'm on furlough. Do I qualify to waive the N-400 form? You should be. Yes, absolutely. Put in the waiver. Danish Daney with a pre-comment of the day. Honestly, you are so awesome. I always seen some boring lawyers, but you are awesome. Well, thank you very much. Mary Anderson, good evening, Brad. How can I know if my spouse divorced me without me knowing behind my back? Well, he did it behind your back, so he doesn't want you to know. But the way to figure it out is to figure out where does your spouse live, and you contact vital statistics in that particular state where your spouse lives, and ask them if they divorced, because every state has to keep a record of divorces. And then contact vital statistics in the state where you live. And maybe even contact vital statistics in the state where you were married, because he can't go to Wyoming if nobody's ever lived in Wyoming and no marriage ever happened in Wyoming. He can't do a divorce there. So I would check those 3 states, the state where you live, the state where he lives, and the state where you were married. Maybe those are all the same 3 states. And you contact vital statistics. And how do you contact vital statistics? You can Google it. Go Google vital statistics, New York State, vital statistics, Idaho, vital statistics, Alaska. And every vital statistics department in the United States has a website and will tell you how to do a search for a divorce. Bay Uma. Yes, as a citizen of the world, we can help each other. It's the comment, pre-comment of the day. You should be a foreign ambassador. We need logic, level-headed, frank, honest discussions about helping each other. I agree. You know, my daughter said, she goes, why can't a politician just not worry about his own job and just do what's best for the country? I go, exactly. If my daughter can figure that one out, why can't us adults figure it out? Let's see what else we have here. Crystal Pear. Hi, Brad. Good day. After receiving the receipt for the I-130, how long before you get another response, and how long you get to know if it's approved for husband and wife? Husband is a citizen, wife lives in another country. After you get the receipt notice, you should get an approval for the I-130 in about 9 to 10 months if you did everything right. Travis Hood, I have a question. I'm on parole and I lost my green card. Should I fill out the I-90 to replace it? I'm afraid they'll pick up my case when they fingerprint me. Yeah, if you're on parole and you are deportable, when you do your I-90 and fingerprint you, they are likely to pick you up. So before you do that, don't be a fool. Have a consultation and let's figure out what we can do to help you. Because if you just go and replace your I-90 and you fingerprint, you're looking for deportation. Oh, by the way, he has a question. I didn't even ask this question yet. All right, Travis Hood, continuing. Question is, ICE saw me in prison and they said sometime after parole I may have to see a judge. when I have to renew my green card. I think you need a consultation. Amir Fulani. Hi, I came to the USA with a visa lottery with my wife in 2012. She was the primary winner. I was the beneficiary. We have lived in different states since we arrived. We got a divorce from back home this year, but we both never filed taxes together. Will that affect my naturalization process? No, it shouldn't. You just have to prove it was a bona fide marriage the day you entered America. You don't have to be in a bona fide marriage for the 5 years. Young Money Rogers. Uncle Brad, you are the best among all the rest, but I have a question for you. Yes, Young Money, I am listening. I don't see your question. Donna Bless, also with a pre-comment of the day. Uncle Brad, keep doing what you are doing every day. You look younger and younger, especially when you clean shave your face. Thank you very much. Let's see what else we got here. Candy Bennett with a question. Good evening, Brad. What if you apply for an I-539 extension because of the COVID on the visitor visa and don't hear from USCIS? What would your advise person to do? Well, if you apply for the extension, you should get a receipt notice. If you get the receipt notice for the extension on your visitor's visa, you're in legal status for that up to that 180 days. What you need to do, whether you have heard from immigration or not, is leave the United States within 180 days of that visitor's visa extension, or make another application for an additional extension if you still can't travel, or change your status to something else. What you can't do is say, well, I haven't heard, so that means I'm allowed to stay here indefinitely until I do hear. You're not allowed to do that. Valerie Wright Cherry. My daughter and grandbabies were to return in April, but because of the border closure, they are still stuck in Jamaica. Will there be any penalties when the airports are open? They are green card holders. No, there shouldn't be, because obviously they've tried to come back and they were unable to. So it's beyond their control. So there should not be a penalty. Sasha Ford. Hi, Uncle Brad. Did you hear anything about the second wave of stimulus checks or the idea of them giving us a check until the end of the year? The second wave is supposed to be coming shortly. I don't know the exact day. I haven't seen when they said they're going to start doing it again, but I do know in the law they were supposed to be coming. It should be coming shortly. So I'll check on it, or I'll have Jilly check on it and see if we can announce something tomorrow. I got married in the USA in December 2019. He is in the process of getting his citizenship. Then he filed for me. Can I go to visit him? I have a 10-year tourist visa and has been traveling legally since 2016. Well, if you're already married and he filed for you, you've shown an intent to get a green card, that could be a reason to deny you when you come into the United States of America. So you run a risk of traveling on a tourist visa when you've already been filed for your green card. So I can't tell you what that risk is. Is it a 10, 20, 30, 40, 50% chance of getting turned around? But it's a substantial risk. My best advice to you, wait for your green card. Pinoy 96. Good afternoon. I'm petitioning my mother, and USCIS just sent a letter asking for an RFE. They want my birth certificate and DNA test only voluntarily. Should I do the DNA or the birth? Do both. Ask for both. Do both. Blood doesn't lie. You shouldn't be concerned to do the DNA, but you got to do it through USCIS registered office. You can't do it privately. Kiki, Uncle Brad, my husband is on Section 8. Can he petition for me? If not soon after he is off, can he do it? Section 8 is government assistance. If you are on Section 8 for any time in the last 36 months, that is a penalty against. Yes, he should get out of Section 8, and you will have to come up with substantial documentation to show you can support yourself here without getting on any government assistance because your husband was on Section 8. You should make a consultation with me. Shama Brown has a question. Hi, Uncle Brad. My husband is a U.S. citizen, but his former address is on his driver's license. He's now living with me. Does he have to change it to my address? Absolutely, he should. Lena Celesti. Hi, Uncle Brad. Since April 14th, my case says ready for an interview, and I still don't get nothing from the NVC or USCIS. Can I call the NVC to know about my case? Therefore, we will reopen on June 4th. You can call them, but they're not going to tell you anything. Unfortunately, when they say that your case is ready, it just means that they've looked at your case. They'll send it to the local office, but that doesn't mean the local office. I've seen cases that have been ready for 12 months before the local office calls you. I think calling USCIS to say, when am I going to get my interview is just spinning your wheels. I don't think they're going to tell you much. Just got to wait it out. If it's more than 12 months, then obviously give me a call. Milo Vernon, next month I'm applying for the I-751. I had a disorderly conduct and criminal misconduct in the 3rd degree in Connecticut. The case was dismissed nolle. Will this affect me removing my conditions? If it was a null prosecution and both cases were dismissed, then it will not affect you because you don't have a criminal record. You don't have to prove good moral character to remove the conditions. You just have to prove you're not inadmissible, deportable, and you're in a good marriage with your spouse. Chief, I have no idea, HNGBLZ. Just call him Chief. Uncle Brad, why is U.S. allowing all that birth tourists and their anchor kids to be U.S. citizens, yet giving hard time to the people who are not dirty enough to do the same thing but do it legal way? Well, first of all, if you give birth as a birth tourist, the U.S. is not giving those people in easy time. As a matter of fact, if it is discovered that you give birth here in the United States on a tourist visa, the U.S. is taking that tourist visa away from you. If you look pregnant and you come into the airport, they also will send you back home believing that you are coming here to give birth. So I don't subscribe to that. They give people a very hard time. Do people still come here on as birth tourists and get through? Yes, but the U.S. is certainly cracking down on it. Hannah, hello. Will my summons for a Penal Code New York 104.05 trespassing violation affect my green card renewal? I got this summer 9 after receiving my green card. How can I be your client? Your office is closed. My office is open. You can call me at 1-800-529-5465. We're doing all our phone consultations remotely, but we are open. And having a trespass should not prevent you from renewing your green card. That doesn't sound deportable to me. It sounds like a violation, which is not a criminal record. So you can give us a call at 1-800-529-5465. Kiki with a follow-up. He has been on it longer than 36 months. If I have good standing affidavit support, will that still affect my husband on Section 8? Yes, he needs to get off of it. But if it's more than 36 months, he's been on it, you're going to have a hard time. But certainly, you will need to have a good attorney. Let's go back and check on some last-second questions on Facebook. Danny Shah. Second, if I lose my job and I got food stamps and claim unemployment, will that affect me getting my citizenship? No, it will not. Gladmir Fajardo. Hello, my mother was recently denied for her permanent residency application due to a jurisdiction deportation in 94. What do you recommend we do? I sponsored her as her son. Well, if she got ordered deported, she needs a lawyer. I recommend you get a good lawyer. When people get deported, why do you think that if you fill out a form, they're coming back? There's no such thing as I got deported, I get to fill out a form and come back. It's a lot more complicated than that. Jahay with a encyclopedic question, right out of the Encyclopedia Britannia. Jahay Giovanni says, I've messaged the National Visa Center because my brother's priority date is current. He's from the Philippines. He's petitioned by my father. His I-130 has been approved. The NVC replied back, Dear sir, the National Visa Center is preparing to accept fees, documents, and forms in support of this immigrant visa application. We will send detailed instructions to the petitioner, principal applicant, and or attorney of record soon. Thank you for your patience. What does this mean? It means that the National Visa Center is preparing to accept your fees, documents, and forms in support of this immigrant visa application. It means exactly what it says. They will contact you shortly, and that you're on their radar, and they're going to send you a fee bill. It's exactly what it says. You're going to start processing very soon, and if they don't start processing soon, then give me a call. Thanks for watching. For more Brad Show Live, like and subscribe to our YouTube channel.